Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I shall rest therein. Coming again with a little something. I'm not going to hold you long. I just want to say that some things regarding actually what is before us, even though the things in which I speak of, thy eyes have already behold. So it's nothing new that Sister Deborah is bringing before you. So I want you to know that what Sister Deborah is saying, you can come on one accord with, because it's something that is before you. So it's not something new. It's just kind of enhancing actually what's behind what is before your very eyes in this day and time. Right now, I am relaxed, sitting up in bed, and very content of where I'm at in spirit and in truth. It's a big thing to me to be able to hold on to liberty and freedom in the way that the Most High has ushered it out unto us. It's if we're going to grip or take hold of it in the way that He has issued it out. When I, Sister Deborah, do. I don't want to get into another form of captivity and in bondage from the control and the mindset of humans. So therefore, I move based on what I hear from the Most High and what He suffers me and allows me to do. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people will look and they say, okay, she's a female, she's not supposed to speak. She has her head not covering. You know, she's not looking this way. She's not talking this way. She's not acting this way. But when you are free in the spirit and you are connected with spirit and truth, you are branded for His name's sake. You have the faith from the Most High Yah. You have the gift of endurance also from the Most High Yah. What on this earth shall you allow to put you in captivity or in bondage to, when you carry the things in which the Most High Yah has ushered you in spirit and in truth? What I learned about being in the spirit is that you don't have to walk the way people say you should walk. You don't have to talk the way people say you should talk. You don't have to act a way people say that you should act. You don't have to do the things people say you should do. You can walk in the richness of what the Spirit of Most High Yah has embodied in you while you abide in Him. You should be able to walk in liberty and in freedom. But if you're still in bondage and in captivity, not just to the oppressor, but to Satan himself, unto man. And I'm not talking about male, I'm talking about male and female. You still are not free in Yah. Because you can be free in Yah, but still in a land of captivity. But you're not free, you're free in spirit and in truth, in the mind of the spirit, in the heart of the spirit of who you are. You are free indeed. You're free to take hold of liberty, justice, righteousness. You know, You're free to take hold of what Yah represents. You're not in that bondage, and you're not in that tradition, and you're not in that religion and that denomination of man. And I'm not talking about, when I'm saying man right now, I'm talking about male nor female, because we got a lot of women in churches and they call themselves pastors and bishops. They need to sit down. Sit down. Ever since I was involved in knowing who the Most High Yah is, I never felt a woman should be leader and head. I felt that she could be an assistant to man, but man is to be the overall leader, guide. And I still feel that way today. And I feel it ain't got nothing to do with my feeling. It's got to do with what is order in the Most High Yah. He loves order, always did. Even to the point where Sister Deborah was talking about in the book of Genesis. That's order. That's order. Because it's telling you how he ordered everything. And just because we as human have gotten out of his order, don't execute his order. His order still reign in me. That's why I have the liberty and the freedom in my spirit man that reaches out, and it identified that liberty and that freedom in my flesh, because it's what's in the inner man that worship and honor and gain glory to Yah. It's not what's on the outer man. So a lot of times people would say, okay, you have to do this, do that, do this, do that, look this way, do this, wrap your head, how the men put the things around their head. All this role playing on the outer end to get someone to fall in love with a religion, a way of doing something. And we fail to realize Yah is not caught up in that role playing. He's so sincere in this day and time, as he always been in the beginning to now, that his word be fulfilled. He's not caught up in all our things that we try to appear to be on the outer man in our flesh. He wants to know who you are in the inner man, because in the inner man is what I created in my likeness. In the inner man is what I created when I created man. See, man think when he said he created man in his own, in his image and in his likeness, he's talking about the likeness of a spirit and the image of a spirit. This is how he explained to me yesterday about how far we are from what he created from the beginning to the end, how far we are out in the ocean. And yes, we're content. Sometimes I can say we, because I don't picture myself as being perfect in the flesh than anyone else. But I can definitely tell you that in the spiritual realm, I beat you by a long shot, because I've seen too many things in the spiritual realm. I've been taught from the spiritual level, and everything that I trust in is spirit, and it is truth. I don't trust in nothing outside of what is spirit. And I guess that's where that questioning spirit that I have come in. I question everything. Wait a minute. Why are they doing that? Okay. That questioning spirit also somewhere is helpful, and then also is hurting. But it's all something I have had for quite some times. And it does more helping me than hurting me, because it helps me to really want to know what part does this reign in. If I am connected spiritual and I see something, or I experience something, or I hear something, and it doesn't connect in the spiritual line, but it connects in the flesh line, then I question it. Because I know that it has to first come spirit to me, then flesh, because I am in that life, that light in which the Most High has created it. He has suffered me to fully understand it. So that means I abide in him and him in me. And this is where I would question situations and issues that's actually going on. And it's so I say that questioning spirit it can hold two sides. It can hold a good, and it can hold a matter of fact, it can hold an excellent, and it can hold a kind of a negative, because I would question things that need not to be questioned. Okay, because I'm always questioning the Most High Yah, knowing that He knows all things. But the questions I put before Him is when He allowed me to see things spiritual, and I'd be like, "Well, why are they doing this? And why are they doing that? Why don't they understand this? And why?" It's because He's putting it to me so that I can dig deeper in what He have shown me spiritual. So it helps a great deal, and I thank Him for that. I would say I started this topic off about things that actually was going on. If things I'm about to say is not something you all out there are not able to behold. It's right before you. It's in your communities, in your neighborhood. It's in your city. It's in your state. It's in your country, and that is the things that are going on. And I thank the Most High, because I got kind of confused in the last 2 months, because I can discern the mark of the beast in its fullest. And I'm trying to figure out, how is it that I can get on a platform that's portraying to be in the righteous. Not, it's a portraying, because how you be able to use the gift that the Most High have given you, if you have the gift. If you don't have the gift, you can't use what you don't have. And He said the gift of discerning is a gift, so you can be able to discern what you in the midst of, or what is actually going on. And when He tell you to try that spirit by the Spirit, it's because when you try your spirit by the Spirit in which you are beholding, or you can discern, or you're in the midst, then it'll level you off to understand what you actually is in the midst of. And when you get that Ruach HaKodesh, it's coming to show you things and reveal things to you. These are the gifts of the Most High Yah, that after the Spirit have really come into you, indulge, or I would say now live in you. These are the things you should be able to identify, but you don't, at least I don't see it in the world where people are able to fully identify what is actually going on. So my question again with the questioning spirit is to go back to Yah and say, okay, I see this. I see this. Why isn't they seeing this? I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Why ain't they feeling this? Why is it that I can see these things and you hear no one speak on them, nor do you hear anyone tackle the issue that is before them? So it takes me back to that narrow gate in which He spoke of. Just because everybody is saying, I did this, or they're this and they're that, don't mean who they are in Yah. Because that's even going to be a very powerful. Let me show you something that's very powerful. It speaks of when He come judgment, how there will be many that would stand before Him. You know why they standing before Him? Really, then in that time period, there's not going to be any mercy. But somewhere in that, you can see the power of Yah allowing something to be said to us today, so that we can understand that when they stand before Him, or when you as an individual, you yourself stand before Him, there's no mercy. So you're going to say what you want to say. It ain't going to get you nowhere. You get what I'm saying? So portraying the roles and how deep we as human plays these roles, and we only get, we get credit. We be uplifted. We be put up on pedestals. I'm speaking of flesh, not necessarily saying I, but I'm saying as if I'm flesh just like everyone else. We get all these gifts that makes us feel good in our body. And when we stand before Him, All these same gifts that we have used to manipulate or trigger people to think that we are the elect, so we are the perfect ones, we are the prophets, we are the prophetess, we are the evangelists, we are the seers, we are the watchmen, we are the teachers, we are the pastors, we are the leaders. All of that's going to be done away with because he's going to already know who you are. That's why come judgment, there will be no mercy, meaning that people who come before him come judgment, thinking that if for 1 minute they're going to be able to wiggle out of their judgment. How dare them think that they're going to be able to go back to glory with it? And then the Most High says unto me, Deborah, I'm giving them down here that has mercy now, an understanding of then, so that they may see that how deep they're going to be manipulating them down there to where they think they're going to bring that to the heavens. I'm going to give you an example by allowing you to hear what I say. They're going to speak. And when they finish, I'm going to say, I never knew them. So I'm trying to, that mercy and grace that's poured out now on the earth, I'm trying to give them a parable or an ideal of when you get there, come judgment, all that ain't going to be worth nothing. So a lot of people are deceiving people by great number, and the people are taken to it by great number. But when judgment comes, when we stand before the Yah, there shall be no mercy. So the example of him showing us how deeply the ones that would manipulate us, they will manipulate us and then try to come to the glory and do the same thing. Now they're in the face of glory. How dare you lie before Yah, saying what you've done in the Creator presence? How dare you? That shows you the power, how easy it would be for them to manipulate you, because they thinking they're going to get away with it when it come down to judgment. So that was him just wanting someone like me in the narrow gate understand how powerful though the manipulation is on the earth. It's so powerful that the deceiving mechanism or that deceiving power is so heavy to where it's going to try to make it, it's going to try to tempt heaven. You see? So it's just showing me the power of why people take to a lot of nonsense on these platforms and believe everything the world is saying. They believe everything that's on their television, their internet, their websites, everything there is, they believe it. They believe it 100 to the point that they have forsaken what is true. You know, what was from the beginning that has warned us of the beginning to the end. We take not to that. We take to everything that is shown on our phones, on our news, on our television, on everything electronically made on the earth has been geared to tamper with the mighty part of an individual that lines up with the 666, which is the mindset. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of us, I'm going to say 99.9 have ran out to get tested, not understanding that the biochemical is on the Q-tip. Anything or not understand is somewhere in us as a people, not just Hebrew Israelite human beings, that has been manipulated to believe everything on NBC, CBS, CNN, every news channel, everything they put on there is to train your mind to believe they're caught up, manipulating, deceiving, how would I say it? Control. And they have done it successfully. Anything they say, when they come out with the vaccine, people going to be going out there by great numbers to get it. They're going to be going out there by great numbers, and they're going to start having you in the system. I just recognize that this testing is being monitored in the system to find out who who is not getting tested? Who is not being tested? What for? Why is this a system control situation? That because they're going to start controlling who's not being tested and who's not getting the vaccine. So I say unto you, in so many ways, in so many videos, I have said so many things. And I thank the Most High for allowing, me to stand at the narrow gate. Thank you, Father Yah, for allowing Sister Deborah, your daughter, to stand at the narrow gate. I thank you. Because I would not choose the broad gate in this day and time, Father Yah, if it was to even make me think it would save my life. I choose not the broad gate, because the broad gate is a gate that's 100 assigned to destruction. And I just thank him for allowing me to stand at that narrow gate. And I will say that people have so believed this vaccine, and they're teaching you all that. And when I said teaching you, because they got it on Facebook, they got it on your phone news, they got it on they got so many different news that they are swinging all this information to your mindset, to where your mind begin to believe what they say. I have heard at least 4 males on YouTube sit and teach that the virus is of Yah. This virus is so messy. Now, why is it the Most High is going to place a virus, and then they already have that vaccine made? The vaccine has no connection to the virus. The vaccine is what they're going to use to support their 5G. A lot of people don't understand that principality in high places is what you fight against, while we down here fighting against our own nation. Because when he said nation against nation, they don't teach you all that he's talking about a people against their own people. I know they didn't tell you that. All you have to do is go to Matthew 24, when he says, when they would go up against, when the countries, war against war represents a country against a country. But when he said nation against nation, that means their people against their people. That means, yes, the Hebrew Israelites against the Hebrew Israelites. And that is 100% going on here today. The Caucasians against the Caucasian, 100% going on today. But we don't look at stuff like that, because that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't matter to us, because we caught up in the things that pleases our flesh, that gives us the okay that we're thinking right, or we're on the right path. And we are so far off of what is righteous, what is justice, and what is right. But the vaccine itself was already designed years ago to support the whole principality in high places. That's why people don't understand that putting on the whole armor is spiritual. It is spiritual. Principality in high places is spiritual. Okay? So it letting you know that you can't fight this with your natural flesh, nor can you understand it in your natural flesh. You can only understand it in spirit and in truth. So putting on the whole armor is a form of spirit. Okay, put on that armor because you're going to need it. And it's not going to be like the 10 virgins that had oil in their lamp. 5 didn't and 5 did. See, just imagine those who didn't have, could care less, but yet they had the lamp. You know why they had the lamp? The lamp is the light that was in John 1, verse 4 and 5, that he put into every last one of us. What was they doing with the lamp? It's because Yah has given every man and woman, every human being, a light that have been born onto the earth. You have a spirit. Okay? So therefore, that's what that lamp represents. That's why the 5 virgins some had oil and some didn't, because that's where we're at today. But I would say that was a beautiful, wonderful power punch for me, being one that walks in the spirit, because that shows Sister Deborah that the 10 had lamps, but only 5 of them had the oil. Okay? And that's what my message has been for the last, I say 4 or 5 messages, or probably even more, getting that oil in your lamp, so your lamp can be lit in your light. And that is Yeshua HaMashiach and the Ruach. Okay? So it can stay on. So when that time come, you'll have oil in your lamp. But if you don't have, then therefore you're going to be without. And that is because when the time was come, the one had oil went in, but the one didn't. And that means when the chaos hit, they're not going to see in the darkness in which they're in, but they're going to be living it. You see? So they're not going to have the light of the Most High Yah showing them the way. So they're going to be in the darkness, trying to live and survive and to make it. And you know what's going to take place then, because if people don't listen to the Most High's prophets and prophetess, those are the one that in old, all the way up until Revelation, was the one that was given the message in a way that's totally unusual from a teaching on these platforms, and a lesson and a school and an academy. Those things cannot outweigh Yah's elect people that he's called to the body of HaMashiach. The body of HaMashiach is real, but yet it is spirit. The body of HaMashiach is Christ being the head, which is all power in the heavens and on the earth. No matter what's going on the earth, it does not outride Christ's power. Okay? So having Christ and being in that body, and Christ being the head of that body, is a beautiful thing. That means you're coming up under the one who has the power to defeat all things. Okay? So you have to understand the body of Christ. It's spirit. It is spirit as well. Okay? The head is spirit. That is Christ. And then there's a body where he got all parts invested in the body, that he may run from the level of being the head. He may control. He may dictate. He may teach and not teach. He may guide and show the way to the body. His head controls the body. But if you're not founded in that body, you're still the one without the oil. And right now, in this day and time, nobody wants to get into the body of HaMashiach. It's because we wants to get into the body of everything we've been taught in our flesh. And it's all well. I know Sister Devlin said it so many times, but it's all well because it's really showing us who we are. And it's a good thing on the hand. It's a good thing in the hands of the Most High. And let me tell you why it's a good thing. Because see, he already done prophesied. He already prophesied everything, and no one listened to it. He already didn't left us parables and signs, and we don't listen to it. He already showed us miracles and given us the power to have the power to defeat many things, and no one cares less. We want what we want to see and believe. We want what we want to say we like, and what we want to say comment on, or what we want to feel included in the flesh. But where are you truly in the spirit? This time that we're up on, it's going to show who's who and what's what. And I thank the mighty Yah for having that power to bring in such a a living testimony of what is about to happen by prophesying, and it's going to come to pass. Because believe it, like a woman in travail, we are in the second stage of labor. And these things need be. These things are going to take place whether we want to accept it in our flesh or not. It's going to take place. Just like let's think of all the parables he didn't said, all the things he didn't prophesy, all the things that he have said. It's going to take place. Whether we want to switch his word, change his word, precept his word out, precept his word in, no matter what. It's everything that he have said out of his own mouth is what we live by. Why? Because if you are spirit and truth, you live by that which is spirit. Or you can live by that which is flesh, and that is out of the mouth of man. And 99.9, that's what they're living by. And not by what has came out of or come out of the mouth of Yah. And he is well with it because he already then informed us that the gate is narrow and very few shall find. So we are actually walking his word 100 out according to his will. They are going to freeze up the school. They're going to freeze up jobs. They're going to freeze up everything. They have more than, I'm going to say more than 30 people that they have shaped and molded and orchestrated to be able to confront the people during this time. Those people were trained to get on here and tell us about every step of what the government in the United States is doing. It is a trap. It is a snare. These people are so professional in what they're warning you about as far as what the government is doing, as far as money and finances and where the world is at. All of it is orchestrated from the doctors and those in the hospital. Everybody is a part of the snare. Everybody. When I say everybody, I don't literally mean everybody, but I mean everybody that are portraying roles as the virus is out of control and many people are getting the virus, the corona, and it's booming up. It's a form of trying to make sure they have the people in 100 control. It is their plan, and I understand the Most High to the fullest when he said, principalities in high places, Deborah, in high places. They thinking this thing is being ran from the ground where they can see and they can behold. This thing is higher than what their eyes can see. That's why he said, put on the whole armor. If you ain't got the armor, you ain't got it to put it on. But he knows who has the whole armor and who does not. That's why he said that you may be able to escape the darts of the enemy. You may. He ain't guaranteed because your armor is not his armor. But the armor must be put on. And Sister Deborah been teaching that for the last 4 or 5 videos, probably even more. And that is spirit and that is truth. If you do not put on the spirit of who the Most High Yah is, connecting it to your spirit, you're going to be caught out here with no oil in your lamp. For sure. So all of this is snares that's put here for and toward the people. If you really want to get the fullness, watch some of the episodes of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is a part of a series that has been on for some years now. It is too a part of the mark of the beast manipulation. And it's to get you prepared for seeing these things that you're actually entertaining come to pass. Okay. And that's the whole idea. Seeing homosexual on television is to trigger the mind that it is the norm. Okay. And the more they put it on there, from the cartoons all the way up to sports, to everything, every man, not when I say every, I'm not talking literally every in the eyes of the natural. It's showing you the percentage of how heavy it is. I've seen every one of our Negro men put on a dress and lipstick. and portray a female role just to keep the position they have of the dollar. They're selling themselves out. They're selling themselves out. Okay. Now, there's a difference from selling yourself out in the name of a dollar and selling your soul out. I think it's the same. But there's another part where they have gotten you to the point, or they could take your life and your families. And that's why you have to do the things like Tyler Perry does. He thinking that if his mother could see him or can commune with him, she would tell him she would be disappointed in him. And where he took life and how he sold his soul over pretty much. Because whenever you entertain these things, and look where he's at now, nowhere still. But in him, they got him thinking that he's where they know he's where they want him to be. That's why Oprah and Tyler Perry and many others will not step out. Even Nick Cannon. It's a sad thing to hear GOCC talking about, we got you. No Negro man on the face of the earth going to be able to get Nick Cannon. Let me say that again. No Negro on earth going to be able to have Nick Cannon talking about, I got you. You ain't even got yourself. You can't get Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon can't get you. First of all, when have Nick Cannon took his wealth into his own community, into his nation? But you got him. You see what the mindset of Nick Cannon? But you say GOCC and all these other men that trying to support Nick Cannon in his choice, talking about he stood up, but he also stood down. But he stood more down than he stood up. Because if he knew that he was who he said he was, then why wasn't his wealth put into that nation? The ignorance of our men leading men. And that's what he mean about nation against nation. There's so much ignorance in the nation, our nation, that it just so sad. But also the Most High knows what is actually going on, and these things need be. Because Nick Cannon, now one of us can get him. And he can't get us. Before he even found out who he was, he didn't bring none of his wealth to the community. Then if you found out who you were, why didn't your funds come to that nation in which you found out you were in? None of his didn't. And still today, not a penny of his funds will come to the nation. Even if the world turn him in and fire him, why would that should have been his part? Say, okay, I'm going to take what I have and go to my nation. You think Nick Cannon did that? Nick Cannon was standing up trying to fight to keep where he was in the midst of the demonic spirits. Just because he stood up and said who was who wasn't identifying nothing. These people don't need you to stand up to say who you are. They know who you are. You need to stand up in Yah and proclaim Yah so that the power of Yah will show up and show out in front of them. You want to say you who you are. I know you ain't the true Jews. You're the synagogue of Satan. Did not his word prophesy that in Revelation 2 and 9 and Revelation 3 and 9? Y'all already spoke to that. Don't you know the fake Jews then been there, done that thousands of years, and knowing that this is the truth? They know the word of Yah. They know his voice out of that biblical, to where the Hebrew Israelites still looking for a good message to know who Yah is. These people on these platforms ain't even growing up in Yah. They're not even moving further up in Yah, because they moving further down at the level of where human are at, and not where the spirit and truth truly rest. That's going to be the one that's going to uphold them in the long run. So, with this Nick Cannon crap, kick it to the curb. Let Nick Cannon abide in what he wants to abide in. Because not only did he tell who was the true Jews, he rekindled the fact that he is who he said that he is by trying to justify his apology in a way that he can still gain his wealth and his, not just his wealth, but his position in fame. So he not only sold up, he sold down more than he sold up. And anyway, let me ask you all, how you gonna GEOCC, you gonna have Cannon, and Cannon then sold out his whole nation just because he put that little red cap on his head, or he covered his head and run around talking about Hebrew Israelites in the role of the principality in high places. And what? Our men again missed it. Just like on the slave ship. That should have been the time they would have been crying out to the Most High and bringing him back into their bosom. They didn't do that, because when they got over here, guess what? They lost all that Moses had given them and their forefathers. It got lost in their own heart. It didn't get lost by the white people. It didn't get lost by the Catholic or the Bible. No. It got lost in you. And in you, in yours, and in yours, and yours, and yours, to where we didn't keep what Yah had implanted in us and what Moses had invested and all the other prophet had given our ancestors, and then the next ancestor, then the next, until we are where we at today. We were lost without a cause because our hearts were wicked and evil, and have been since the beginning of Genesis, and still won't turn, because we think turning means to be up under and under rulership of the flesh of a man again. And we don't understand turning means turning out of the flesh and turning to your spirit, so your spirit can connect to the ultimate spirit of Yah, which ruled all things. That's why he said, don't be afraid of he that can destroy the body, which is your flesh. Be afraid of he that can destroy body and soul, which is your spirit. You know, that's who you need to be afraid of, instead of wanting to all the time walk in the messages of the flesh that soothes and satisfies the flesh. You need to try to find messages that soothe and satisfies your spirit, because once your spirit is soothed and satisfied, then it also will gain the Ruach HaKodesh, and Yeshua HaMashiach would abide in thee with the power in which Yeshua had said, you shall have power. And then said, you will show miracles and signs greater. Have you done that? Nope. Not one on this platform that has taught the multitude can actually say that they have had that power. And then you look at Sister Deborah, and honestly, I'm going to tell you, when I was young, that was a marvelous power. Teenager in high school, an adult, 30, and, coming up. But I wish that I would have, and still can, take that power and use it to the utmost. Yes, can I? Yes, I can. Without a doubt. I know that I can. But the power is not going to change the prophecy. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to be able to show who you are in Yah. And don't forget, there are many going to be able to portray the power, just as when he went to Moses, and Moses went to Pharaoh, and then Pharaoh brought his little people, his little musicians or whatever they were, to do what they did, and they couldn't match up. But I will say, I know without a doubt that that power still rests within me, and it ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. I will say that even as I speak, that is part of that power, is because I stand in the power of Yah and not in man, to where I don't have to look like you want me to look, the mind of control, manipulating the mind. Man has, in our nation, has not mastered, no, they haven't, because they can't even discern it. The mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast is a mind control. more so than a 666 on your forehead or a chip in your hand. It is a mind control. The part that Yah wants you to worship him in, it is to control that. And it has successfully done that because we have turned from anything which is spirit and desiring the things which are flesh. And the Most High is 100 for sure allowing it and suffering it to be. You guys, you know what I did? I made me some red beans and rice. I made me some spaghetti, some stir-fried mushrooms and zucchini. I made me in a salad. Just made up food yesterday afternoon to have so I can just, and right now as I'm on here, I'm thinking about that food. I know what I got. I can go in there and I can eat. Let me explain something else to you all. The reason why we have to be spiritual free is because back in the days, they were talking about how on your Sabbath you're not supposed to cook. Cook is like a job, you and cleaning, and it is like you're working. But heating up food, I when I go to the Most High and I say, okay, they saying this and this saying this. Me heating up my food has nothing to do with my spirit. You get what I'm saying? That rests in me. You see, cooking, working in the kitchen and cleaning, that's a job. That's working. You can't do that. But me heating up my food has nothing to do. Working is a part where he said no labor and no working during this time. Save this time. And I'm going to tell you what he told me yesterday in the water. This was yesterday afternoon when I was making my meals. He was saying, Deborah, you have to put everything you question into a spiritual realm. And I thank him for that. Once you put it into a spiritual realm, it allows you to live in liberty and in freedom. Because doing it the way man is saying and man has interpreted, and I'm going to tell you something. Not only have man hands, but I say his foot is in that biblical book. You have to be able to connect to Yah in spirit and truth so you can come out of a lot of this nonsense. And if you're not spiritual rooted in Yah, therefore, when I say spiritual, he's not abiding in you and you in him. You don't know a lot of these things that you're being taught and believing to be. But I'm telling you, he was dealing with me on that and working and cooking, doing the Sabbath and cleaning. That's still a form of laboring. And I owned a storage where they have flea markets and they make the most of their money normally on Friday and Saturday. But my daughter wanted to go so she can make her a couple of $100. And I told her, I don't want her to do that because it's saying that me putting somebody else to work when I'm honoring the Sabbath. So I told her, okay, no. But I will say this here. I thank the Most High because for him to tell me that, look, you have to take it out of the contents of flesh and put it in the contents of spirit. And then you will hear and understand what is right and what is wrong when it come down to the Sabbath. He went on in describing the Sabbath to me. And did you know what I learned yesterday? And I'm going to tell you, this sister been walking with Yah since 4 years old. But guess what I learned about the Sabbath? That's really deep. The Sabbath didn't connect with as far as naturally laboring. It was spirit. The Sabbath has to do with what is spiritual and not what is natural. But it wants you to understand that you have to take this natural, shut it down so you can manifest your spirit to align with Yah's spirit on Sabbath day. It's a day that he chose that you labor to know him in the spirit. It is beautiful the way he was describing it to me. And I never known it to be that way. That while we're role playing on this Sabbath, We're role play. We got role playing clothes on in the flesh. Tying our head up and doing all this, putting a lot of people put stuff around their necks, and he already said that stuff can't speak for me. That stuff don't have a voice. He said we're wearing wood around your neck, silver and gold around your neck. He speaks. That's in the Bible. Crosses and that don't speak for me. That doesn't have a voice. And that makes a lot of sense. So it teaches me how liberty and freedom to walk in the spirit is given unto you, Deborah. So you don't have to walk the way man is setting it up in the flesh. You walk in the spirit and you walk with Yah. You walk in the flesh, you walk with man. So he was telling me about the Sabbath, and because I was like, Father, but you never needed to rest. You all power, and I was like, what was that? He was saying he was teaching our spirit how to shut down the flesh so you can worship him in spirit and in truth. That's what the Sabbath day is about, you guys. And we missed it. Still into today. This is August the 1st, 2020. And we missed it again. We're thinking the Sabbath is about what we have trained from our forefathers, even to today. And the Sabbath is spirit, and it is truth. It's letting your spirit, okay, commune with Yah, okay, in spirit and in truth. Bringing the flesh down. See, because if we take it, the Sabbath, as the way we conduct ourselves in the flesh, and it's about us working, and we lost it. We didn't lost the whole purpose. You see how far and how many thousands of years we have gotten away from truth? Why? Because we're not walking in the spirit. Without a spot nor wrinkle is one that can understand things in the spirit. It's not your outer man and what you do and how you do it. He's coming from he that has no spot in his spiritual understanding of what Yah expectation is. It's spotless. That means I can look no matter no matter what Deborah look like, talk like. Wait a minute. Her spirit is spotless because it understands my spirit, my will, my creation, my order. She is spotless. So when he says about Job, he is upright, it's because his spirit, that's why the devil came after. He said, have you tried my servant Job? A man that is sure, what is that word? Insure, evil, meaning didn't like evil. That's because he was rooted spirit. And y'all knew that Job was rooted spirit. That's why he let the enemy say, go on, do what you want. Touch that flesh, whatever you want. But I can tell you what, Job gonna still be mad. Because see, we fail to understand who Yah really is. He is spirit. So the part of Job that he was allowing the enemy to take a hold of was his flesh. You see? Because he already knew that Job was rooted in the spirit. Hallelujah. You see how missing we are? We're missing in action in every step we take, all the way up into the year of 2008, 2020. We're missing it. That's a lot of mighty years. That's a lot of, woo, Father, your patience, your endurance is so deep. Thousands of years we missed it, and we still miss it until today. So when he coming for the spot nor wrinkle, that's that one that got it packed down in the spiritual purpose of Yah. You see? See, he's not coming to go after the flesh. He's coming to know, do this person have who I am and walking therefore in me in spirit? That's what he's talking about. You spotless, Job. Because what? You walking in me in spirit. So all the things that was going on with Job you notice it attacked his flesh, even his friend, everything attacked the outer man. But the spiritual man was rooted, steadfast. Even when Job got to the point where he started to say things to Yah, Yah asked him, who, wait a minute, hold up. Where was you? Because see, Yah had to step into him spirit and in truth. He had to take him there. He had to take Job the spiritual route. Now, Job, wait a minute. I know who you are in the spirit realm. But let me take you a little bit deeper in that spiritual realm. Where was you when I did this and I did that? See, when Yah had to step into a human flesh to take him into a spiritual level, tell me that ain't deep. That's what he has to do. He do what he have to do to bring Job's mind back down to, wait a minute, I chose you, I had him to go all up on get your flesh. You lost everything in the flesh, even your children, they were flesh. You lost everything, but you didn't. I had you in the spirit because you was upright in the spirit of who I am. You knew who I was. And you you didn't deny that. Everything else you denied. But when it came down to what I stood for in you, you stood firm. But then Job got the flesh, got the buckling up. Not really, yeah, a little bit of something. Start to say this and start to say that, and then he began to speak to his spirit. Said, wait a minute, hold up. Where was you when I laid this and when the star, the Most High nailed it to Job. And when he said that to Job, do you think those were the things that was natural? No, those were spirit. He was taking him to a spiritual realm to show him that, bro, you still flesh. You couldn't even understand the realm of where I'm coming from. Let me give you a little taste. Where was you? Can't nobody tell me that this Most High YAHWEH that I serve ain't who he is. He is that and something. And that's how I serve and worship him. I don't got time to look at him as a man, a human that can control the flesh. Y'all ain't caught up in your flesh. You know what? When Yeshua came, you know what he said? Don't come to me with your commandments, your laws. Don't come to me with those prophets. I'm here for spirit. And that is to fulfill the spirit of a man and a woman. All that, go. I got a mission. I didn't come here for that. Because that's what everybody think. It's about what they say it is. That's on the top of the surface. But it's really what you can't see. They determine who you are. You really are. So, all right, Sister Deborah's going to get off of here. And I hope you enjoyed that message. I was really trying to stay about 20 minutes, but I went way over. But I say unto you, I love you. And Yahuwah loves you no matter where you at. No matter what direction you're going in. Or where you have started. Or where you are heading. Yahuwah is still rules it all. He know your beginnings and your end. And he loves you more than the words in which Sister Deborah can say, I love you. The love that he has for you outrides any love that Sister Deborah can say or feel. The love of the Most High has been shed abroad with all this grace and mercy. And he still yet loves you in spite of whatever. Reach for the tree of life and eat. Eat of his spirit and live eternal. I, Sister Deborah says, on this wonderful Sabbath day, enjoy. Shalom and shalom.